welcome to our new tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to design this simple banner, and I'm going to use a preprocessor in order to design this entire thing. So you may be thinking, okay, this is the simple thing and why should I watch this? Because I am going to use SAS in order to develop and design all of these things. So the idea behind is to make you understand that how exactly SAS work and how it will help you to reduce your code base. So let's say if you are designing something in simple CSS, you need to write thousands code, which is also not organized. So basically SAS will help you to organize every single thing that you are having in your website. So you may separate your navigation bar, you can easily separate your each and every section in your website. You can easily separate the color where you can easily hold your colors inside a variable. These are the things that you will able to accomplish by using SAS. So basically, if you don't know how to configure it, just go to the Google and try to search about the SAS. You can easily search about it, and you can easily find any kind of article about, let's say, how to install SAS into your Visual Studio Code, and you can find lots of article over there, and go there, download the important plugins, important add-ons in order to work on it. So let's come to the point. Now we have created this entire thing where we are having a image inside a folder. I'm also having main.scss file inside a SAS folder, and there is a index.html file. So these are the simple things that you need to add. After that, I'm going to have a header section where I'm going to design our navigation bar. So let's say section navigation, and inside this navigation bar we are going to have a logo. So I'm going to call this logo navigation_logo, and inside this logo I'm going to use a hyper reference. So a.logo, which is a hyper reference link, and I'm going to call this logo cyber initiation, which is my agency name. So basically this is the name of this logo. After that, we need a navigation link. So let's say dot navigation, and we need a unordered list, and inside the unordered list we need a link, and inside this link we need a hyper reference where we can have all the links that we actually need. So basically I'm going to have all of these links right here. Now we are having services, blog, and then contact section. So basically you may be thinking that why I am writing navigation logo, navigation UL. So basically these keywords will help you to organize your code into the SAS. So this will be helpful for you. So I will tell you. So now once I will click on this watch SAS, it automatically created this main.css.map and main.css file. Now we need to link the file. So I'm going to link SAS main.css. okay, so basically what will going to happen, basically whatever you are going to write inside the main.css, it automatically going to generate simple CSS into your main.css file. So let's say if I'm writing margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing border box, once I will save it, it will automatically going to generate this CSS. So as you can see, we are having this simple CSS which is not we didn't write it yet. So basically SAS will help you to generate your CSS into a separate folder, and you don't need to write bunch of CSS in order to accomplish your thing. So let's target the class of this particular section, navigation section. Okay, navigation bar. So let's say copy this navigation, and basically what we need to do, we need to follow the simple procedure. So I want to change the background color. So that's the background must be #000. But as I told you, you can also hold your color into some variable. You can also do the same thing inside your simple css, but the thing is you can you can easily you can also do that, but the thing is that here it is also possible, and it is much more effective than the simple css. Okay, and you may be thinking that it may be like a bootstrap, but it's not just like the bootstrap. It is a, it is pure css. So you will going to have command over your entire code, entire website. So you just don't need to think, okay, there you are going to use some kind of cdn in order to get codes from someone's server. Okay, that is the best thing about the SaaS. So let's have all of these uh, primary color bg variable, primary color heading, primary color, let's say we want a heading, we want background, we want a font, let's say paragraph. You can you can have much more, any kind of variable. Let's say if you want to hold anything inside a variable, you can easily do it. Now come to the point. So let's say inside the navigation we have this background which is having a primary color bg, which is, and this primary color bg is coming from the variable, and the variable is holding some kind of color which is rgb, xyz. So after that, let's say justify content space between. What justify content space between help you actually does, it will separate your logo as well along with your you know entire navigation link, but it is not happening. So there is a higher possibility that something is wrong inside my html code. We will figure it out, but now let's focus on the logo. So this is the navigation, and in order to target your logo, you just need to add a ampersand sign. Okay, so navigation is the whole thing. Okay, this is the navigation, and in order to write the same navigation, same navigation keyword, you just need to write ampersand sign inside this navigation. So let's say and or ampersand, I don't know what the sign name is. So let's target this particular thing. So now we are having this uh, this particular thing. So I'm going to copy only this part. Okay, underscore logo, and then after that, let's, after copying this, paste it right here. So ampersand is having entire navigation keyword. Okay, so and is holding entire navigation keyword. Now we can change the font size. Let's say font size is 2 rem, and it is targeting the entire thing, which means something is wrong in our code base. So let me check it out. So this particular div is ending right here, so that's why, that's what exactly I was talking about. Now let's paste it after this logo class, after this h. Okay, so now we are having this thing into the right size, and let me show you that how exactly it works. So if I will comment it out, it will going to come up right here, and if I will uncomment it, it will going to get back to the same position. So now we can add this font weight. Let's say font weight is going to be 600, and the padding that I want to add, let's say 12 pixel from top to bottom and 12 pixel from left to right. After that, we need a margin from the left because I want some space from the left side. So let's say 20 pixel space is enough from the left side, and that is totally fine. And inside the logo, you have the you have the like inside the hyper reference, you are having this logo class. So you can easily go and call this text transform uppercase, and you can also call this anchor tag inside this class, and call this text to decoration none. And now you can change the color of this particular thing. So let's say color must be, let's pick the color from our variable. Now we are having this particular color which is totally white, and so you can easily understand that how these code looks like we are having the entire thing into just one single in just one single code base. So inside the navigation we are having every single thing, and now you can easily see it. Okay, Now we need to add some another variable. Okay, so let's say primary color variable, and I'm going to add a heading or hover variable. Okay, so once someone come on your, let's say come on your, once someone hover on your logo, once someone click hover on it, it will going to change the color of it. And if you are familiar with the simple css, you can also use the transition effect. So transition time, so let's say transition time is 0.5 second. So now we are having this transition time which is looking little bit good, and that's it. So now we need to target the navigation link, and how exactly we can target it. So basically we need a horizontal navigation bar. Okay, and in order to target it, here's the navigation link. Okay, and this navigation link ul unordered list is inside the navigation. Okay, inside the navigation you can easily understand that. Okay, this is inside the navigation. So what we need to do, this navigation ul is inside the navigation but outside the logo class. So what we need to do, we need to leave this logo section, logo code, and after that let's target it outside the logo class but inside the navigation section. Okay, so let's target this li and call this display inline block. So it will going to help you in order to take it to the horizontal. After that let's say call this list style type must be none, and padding of this particular thing, let's say top to bottom 12 pixel, top to bottom left to right is 12 pixel. Okay, and I can also give the margin from the right. Okay, for this from the right margin. Okay, so let's say 20 pixel, which is also going to be the same, and now we are having 20 pixel margin from the right side. Now we can call this a, and for this anchor, let's say for this one I can call this this color. Okay, so primary color heading, and I can also add this text decoration none, and let's say font size must be 1.3 rem 1.3 rem. I always recommend you whenever you are trying to use let's say whenever you are trying to use the font size, you always make sure that you are using you can use rem or m, and I will tell you the reason behind it later once we will go through the entire course of HTML and CSS. So this is looking a little bit ugly, so let me have capitalize, or I can delete it. Let me delete it. I don't want it because I already written it in capitalized form. Okay, so make sure that you do not include any kind of unnecessary code in your code base, and that is the best best way of writing clean and simple code. And you can also see that our code looks very clean inside this Sass, and it is totally totally what you can say, it is totally arranged and totally in order. So let's say hover effect 0.5 second. Now we are having this entire navigation bar, and after that we can go and target the banner section. Now we need a banner section, so let's say section. So after posting this particular video, I'm going to post how about the Sass, like how exactly you can install the Sass. Basically, because you might wonder that okay, this guy is teaching about this Sass, and this guy is writing his code in the Sass, but I don't know how to configure it. So I will come up with another tutorial that how you can integrate Sass in your Visual Studio Code or any kind of code editor that you're using. You just need to comment into the description box so I can easily understand okay what exactly you are lacking of and what exactly I need to implement in my video. So please comment out whatever the topic that you want. I can definitely look at it and make tutorials for it. I also have other tutorials where I built simple HTML CSS website, so you can also check that out. So after this paragraph, basically I want to add a button. So let's say underscore, or we need to add this banner heading or banner btn. Okay, white, btn white, and let's say jump on the project or jump on project. The text is jump on project. Now we need to take all of these things into the middle. So let's target this banner class, and this section is entirely different from the above one. So we need to leave our code base and move on to the next place. So I'm going to comment it out. So let's say banner, we are having the banner code from here, and we are having the navigation from code from here. Okay, so this is the navigation code, and after this I'm going to have this banner section code. Okay, so let's say I want a width, so width must be 100%. So let's say width is 100%, and the height must be 90%, 90 vh. Basically why I'm having 90 vh, because I want my navigation bar and my banner looks look good. That's why I'm having it like. Now let's call this display flux. After that we need justify content center, and once I will call this justify content center, it will going to take it to the center, and then align item center will going to take it to the middle, and after that text align will going to take it to the center. Now we are having every single thing into the center, and then after that let's call this background image, and I'm going to have a linear background image. So let's say red green blue alpha. You can also call add 90 degree 40 degree if you want to change the color intensity according to the degrees. You can check it out. Go to the Google and type linear gradient generator, and you can easily find out that how exactly you need to add other thing, to right, to left, to bottom kind of thing. Okay, so you might not understand yet, but just Google it and you can easily understand. So after that let me call this background.jpeg. so now we are having this entire image right here. So let's say background size, I want to change the background size of this image, and background size must be cover. Now we are having this background position must be center. You can also add background repeat none. Okay, so if you are having only one single image and it is repeating, you can also call background repeat none. Okay, background image repeat, something like that, background image repeat none. So let's call this heading class, and this ampersand is banner. Okay, so this ampersand mean is banner. So now we are having heading, and we need to target the font size. So I'm going to have this font size. So let's say target this h1 and change the font size of this entire thing. So let's say font size, and the font size is going to be the 5 rem for this h1, and the font weight that I want to change is around 600 or 700. After that let's say color must be primary pg, or let's say primary color heading. and let me save it. My image is too heavy, that's why it is looking that's why it is reloading late. But I'm going to stick with this image. I'm not going to remove it and waste my time. So let's say font size for this paragraph is 1.2 rem and the color is the same, primary color heading. And yeah, so we are having this particular thing, and the margin that we are having is 20 pixel auto. And I can also reduce the margin size. You can also give it negative margin from the top to bottom, let's say, or let's say from the top. Okay, so not right here, from the top. So I'm going to use top margin from the top, and let me remove this auto and 10 pixel. So from the top I'm having this margin in this way, or let's say minus 20 pixel. That's it. And now we need to focus on, sorry guys, now we need to focus on some of the other thing. And what we are having, we need to focus on our button. So let's have this button. So let's say I'm going to delete this button class and I'm going to add another button class. Okay, so basically I'm going to build a simple button right here, and into the next tutorial, when we are going to implement our hamburger section, in the next tutorial we are going to implement this button in a very different way. Okay, so now I'm going to have very simple button, so you can easily understand, okay, this is the button that I'm using, and that's it. So let's target the button class that we are having. So here you can see that I am having header banner heading and then btn underscore btn. So we need to add this particular button inside this header. Okay, so let's copy it, and banner heading is our ampersand sign. Okay, ampersand sign underscore btn, and we can call this font size. Let's say font size must be something like 1.3 rem, 1.5 rem. The padding that I want around, let's say 10 pixel. After that, let's say 15 pixel from top to left to right, and it will going to reload. So yeah, that's how it looks like. After that we can also change the text decoration none, and then after that let's say change the font size, not font size, color. So I'm going to use this heading color, and let's say we can also change the background. So background, or let's say let's remove this color because I want to add a darker background. So you can also go for the variable. You can easily add a black variable. I'm going to use simple black color right here, black color code, and then after that we are having this background, white background. So now we have this thing in this way, and I highly recommend you to add this variable at the top, because into the next video, in next tutorial, I'm going to have it. Okay, so along with it you can also do it, or you can just follow me, and at the end of this tutorial go and add this particular thing. So let's add this br tag, and do not touch any margin or padding. So this is the simplest way. Sometimes I use shortcuts, and yeah, it's really important that you can also use shortcuts, just like as a just like as a beginner. So sometimes you need to do all of these things. Like not everybody is a kind of expert, so I don't also think like I'm kind of I don't even know about it. That's how I consider, because learning is a process, and every single day you have to implement, you have to learn, you have to implement the things that you are having, and make sure that like at certain point you are going to understand, okay, I came this far, and now I can do other lots of other things. I can explore my things. I can go for the after learning the front end, I can go for the back end like Django and other kind of stuff. So let's add this border color, and now we are having this button in this way. So this button looks like this way. And what else we can add? Basically we can change the color. You can easily see, designing is something like you do not even know that what exactly you are going to accomplish when you are designing from scratch. So you don't need to worry about it. You just go with the flow, and later you will find, okay, this thing I want to implement, okay, that thing I want to change, this is not looking good, this padding is not okay. So this is how exactly you need to accomplish your thing. And yeah, that's it. So basically we are having this primary background. Now we need to change the background of this particular thing. And I'm going to add a background on my header. Okay, so header section is going to have a different kind of background. And in order to add a background, I'm going to use this particular website, which is gradient.io. So in this website you can find different kind of backgrounds. And yeah, sometimes I use it, but yeah, we can use it. We use these sites, but if you are in a beginner level, you can go with a very very simple background. And you can also use a linear gradient generator kind of thing in order to add your background. So let me copy this entire thing, and this code is like little bit big, so I'm going to paste it right here and save it, and let me see how exactly it looks like. Yeah, so this is it is looking like this way, and it is like little bit ugly, but I understand. And I'm going to change the color of this button. Okay, like after hovering on it. So the color of this particular thing is, let's say, primary page heading, and let me add it. So after saving it, oh, what I did, let me see. Okay, actually I need to add it inside our hover section. Okay, not there. So let me remove it. And now we are having this particular button, and yeah, our color is changing. And we can also change the color of this thing. So let me add a color right here, black. Sorry guys, what I don't know what exactly I'm doing. I'm just a little bit distracted. I need to add this color inside the btn, not inside my paragraph tag. Sorry about it. So let me add this color right here, and we are finished with it. Like seriously, we are done with it. And hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're watching it from the beginning. And yeah, I will going to teach you how to work on the Sass, and I will also going to teach you some of the other complex technologies where you can easily systemize your thing, where you can come up with a very very good systematic way in order to accomplish the thing that you want. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care, see you in the next tutorial, and hope you enjoy it.